For this project, I chose to work with Chic Sheep by Marley Bird because I really love how this yarn looks when it's worked up. It doesn't pill or get fuzzy, the stitch definition is great, and it's available in all sorts of colors. I'm working with the color called Sunset, and for a second color, I added a few white roses using the colorway Lace. This yarn is a nice choice if you want to use a slightly more premium yarn without paying a premium price, but the pattern is really flexible, so you can use any medium weight yarn you prefer. You'll need about 31 yards for each rose. Hook size for this one is a 4mm. It's a bit smaller than what you would normally pair with the medium weight, but the tighter stitches created with this hook size really help the overall shape of the rose. Okay, start off with a slip knot and 51 chains. And one little tip here, make sure to keep your slip knot tail a little longer than I did. That'll help you a lot with the assembly later. And when you get that finished, flip it over to see the spine of the chain, all these little bumps, and find the 4th bump from the hook. Make a double crochet there. Now this chain 3 we have here does count as a stitch, so keep that in mind when we get to the next row. From here, just make a double crochet in every chain. When you have a double crochet in every chain, it'll look something like this, and you should count 49 stitches total, including that little chain at the beginning. Go ahead and flip your work, and to start the next row, make 3 chains. That chain does count as a stitch, so we don't want to work our first double crochet here. We need to work it here instead. And keep going, making a double crochet in every stitch. By the way, the best way to follow along with my tutorials is to have the pattern in front of you too. That'll show you even more information than you're picking up here in the tutorial, plus it's a really great way to get more comfortable reading patterns. So you can view the pattern for this project completely free on my website, or if you prefer to have a copy in hand to print or save for later, you can pick up the PDF from my shop. I'll have a link for both options in the description below, so you can do what works best for you. Now remember a bit ago I said to keep in mind that beginning chain counted as a stitch? Here's where that matters. I have a double crochet in the last double crochet available to work into, and that leaves this chain. It looks like you could be done here, but if you skip it, the edge of the work won't be even. So make sure to add a double crochet in the top chain. That way your stitch count stays the same and you don't drop a stitch. For the next row, chain 1 and turn. This time, the chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, so see this stitch right here? Make a single crochet there. Then skip 2 stitches and make 6 double crochet in the next stitch. We're starting our petal shaping here with these little groups of double crochet, these little shell clusters, if you will. And when you get that finished, skip 2 more stitches and single crochet in the next. Here's the repeat. Skip 2 stitches, 6 double crochets in the next, skip 2 more stitches, and single crochet. If you've done everything correctly, you should end with a 6 double crochet group here with 2 stitches left over and then that chain 3 from the previous row. So skip the next 2 and single crochet in the last stitch, which is the chain, so you'll do so in the top chain, that third chain. Now chain 1, again, does not count as a stitch. Turn your work and make a single crochet in the first stitch. Then make 2 double crochets in each of the next 6 double crochets. And when you get to that single crochet, you'll make a single crochet there. And that's the repeat. Make 2 double crochets in each of the next 6 double crochets and single crochet in the next. This will add a little bit more length or height to the petals for a slightly larger rose. Now, as we're finishing this row, I want to mention a resource I think you might like if you're a regular here on the channel, or if you usually buy PDFs from my shop. Members of my Patreon community not only get to watch all videos completely free of ads, but they also get the PDF for all new patterns. Choose the Insider Preview tier for these perks, or if you really love patterns, choose the Insider Plus tier to unlock an additional 76 classic B.Hooked PDFs, as well as the entire archive of patterns released in 2021. Join my Patreon community today for all of these perks, as well as customized pattern support if you need it. You can cancel at any time if your financial situation changes, or if you simply change your mind. Links in the description below. So don't forget to make a single crochet in the last single crochet. It's kind of tempting to put a double crochet there. Probably done that once or twice myself. And this is what it'll look like. It's a bit wavy, and that's exactly what we want. Then chain 1, turn, and make a single crochet in every stitch, including that first one, because remember, the chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So our chain 3s count as stitches in this pattern, but our chain 1s don't. And that's all there is to the crocheting bit. Go ahead and fasten off, leaving a nice long tail. So with the techniques you just learned, continue making these rose strips until you have the quantity you want for your bouquet. Now, if you're watching this ahead, which I think you might probably be, when you're out shopping for yarn for this project, you'll need to grab some floral stems too. These are 18 gauge, and that thickness worked really well to balance the weight of the rose. I picked up this pack of 12 from Michael's, but I'll include a link to another option on Amazon if you aren't able to make it to the store. Alright, situate the strip so the tails are at one end, and the other end is where we'll add the stem. I put a small bead of hot glue to help hold it in place. I think this is probably an optional step, although I did not try constructing a rose without the hot glue. So if by chance your stem comes out and you didn't use hot glue, let me know that in the comments. I think that'll be really helpful for the community. Then start to roll it up. So it's best if you roll it pretty tight. You want to stretch the yarn a bit, but not too much. Also, making sure the bottom is lined up, or as lined up as you can get it, will really help you keep it neat and tidy. Steady it with your hand so it doesn't come loose, and thread your slip knot tail on the yarn needle. That's the one at the bottom of the strip. Then run it through the bottom, being sure to catch as many of the layers as possible. And do this back and forth a couple of times. Leave that tail there, pick up the other one, and you want to secure it to the space or kind of the petal next to where the tail is, and seam it all the way down to your other tail. Next, we'll clean up the bottom a little bit so it looks a little more realistic and doesn't have such a hard edge. To do that, run the tail in and out every couple stitches or so, kind of creating a drawstring closure here. Then pull that tail to draw it up. And simply tie the two ends together. Thread them both on the yarn needle. Run them through the rows anywhere you like. When you have all the roses needed for your bouquet, there's one extra step you can take to make it all stay together. So first things first, arrange them how you want, and with a roll of floral tape, I picked this one up from Michael's when I bought those stems, but I'll link an Amazon option in the description as well. And start up near the roses and just simply twist the floral tape around the group of stems. If you haven't worked with this stuff before, it's a little stretchy, but stretch it too far and it'll break. So you have to find that balance of stretching enough that it sticks, but not so much that it breaks. And like you see here, if it does break, no big deal. Just pick it back up and keep twisting. So I ran the floral tape down the entire stem, but you really only need a few inches. Now, the whole goal here is just to secure the bouquet so the roses stay in the position you want them to. That's all for now, friend. I'm so glad you decided to give this project a try, and let me walk you through it. This is a very non-traditional type of project, and I'm sure you'll get a wonderful response however you decide to use it. I'd love nothing more than to keep inspiring you to make something that makes you happy. So if you liked this tutorial and you enjoy my teaching style, hit the subscribe button so I can see you back for the next one. Also, don't forget to check the description box below for a link to the pattern for this project, as well as a link to where you can join B.Hooked Insider, my Patreon community. Happy hooking, and I'll see you in the next one.